Welcome back to another episode of Headlines and Heartlines. I am your host, Vanessa Brazier, owner and publisher of Bluebonnet News of Texas. Today's guest is someone I've known for many years. I'm kind of afraid to even say how long I've known you. Probably 20, maybe? 20. Liberty County Precinct 6 Constable Zack Harkness. I first met Zack years ago when he was a police officer with Cleveland Police Department. Back then, he would often stop by the Cleveland Advocate newspaper office where I worked for many years, just to visit while I was putting together pages or to share a story on some police thing that was going on because he was the warrant officer at the time, right?
Yep.
We talked about everything that was happening around town, the challenges of working in public safety. Occasionally, I gave him dating advice. He did, he eventually, didn't need me to do that any longer. But those conversations are one of the reasons I enjoy doing this podcast. It's a chance to sit down and really get to know the people in our community. And a lot has changed since those days. Zack now serves as the constable for Precinct 6. He's a full-time firefighter for Cleveland Fire Department. And he is now retired from the U.S. Coast Guard. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that was a big accomplishment. How many years was that?
It was 21.
21 years. Mm-hmm. Somewhere in the middle of all that, he became a husband to Liberty County District Attorney Jennifer Bergman. How many years was that?
Oh, over 10.
10 years ago. And they are now parents to Hudson and Ella. They're 7-year-old twins. Mm-hmm. They live in Cleveland, but Zack is not a native of Texas. He grew up in California before making Texas his home. And so we're going to talk about his journey to Texas, his different careers in public service, and what it's like balancing so many responsibilities, because I don't know how you do it. You have to have your time very compartmentalized. So it's good to see you again, Zack.
You too.
I don't get to see you very often.
No, two sides of the county.
Yeah, always running around. Mm-hmm. So what was life like growing up in California?
I was born in Houston.
Yeah.
And my dad lived in Livingston, my mom and dad, and then they divorced, and my mom took me to California with her, and I had a good childhood, and moved back to Texas to attend the police academy in 2004, so I came back, stayed ever since.
And for people who don't know, your dad was Dr. Tim Harkness.
Yeah.
He was the Houston SPCA.
He's an Army Vietnam veteran, and then he was Polk County Reserve Deputy, and he was a veterinarian for his own practice and worked for the Houston Humane Society.
And he passed recently,
yes.
right? Mm-hmm. Okay, that's what I thought. Your mother still lives in California, though,
yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of kid were you growing up? Were you adventurous, the class clown?
Yeah, just the regular kid, played outside. We grew up in the 1900s. We didn't have cell phones, computers.
1900s.
And we played outside, rode our bikes, and just had a normal childhood.
Were you a beach kid?
I did go to the beach. We were close enough to the beach, so we did ride our bikes to the beach occasionally.
I can't remember the name of the community you grew up in.
It was Hawthorne and Torrance.
Torrance, California.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's it like these days? Do you go back very often?
And I've been back in
many years.
A decade.
I guess your mom comes here, so you don't have to go there.
Yeah.
What is one lesson from your childhood that still influences you today?
I had some mentors that I watched that were in law enforcement, and I think that stuck with me today. I had a DARE mentor, and DARE kept me off drugs. Not that I was using them anyway, but it really opened my eyes what the dangers of drugs can do. It kept me off of it. I'm a big believer in the DARE program today.
Yeah, it's done a lot of good stuff.
It has, yes.
So were there some other people outside your family besides DARE that's influenced your childhood or influenced your life?
We had a school-based law enforcement officer who I just thought was the most professional guy out there, and he kind of steered me into law enforcement and that kind of career. But I've always wanted to be in law enforcement, in the fire service, and emergency medical technician, and then military. So I just figured I'd do it all.
Okay. So you are a native Texan. You just kind of got misplaced for a while.
Yeah, got misplaced. Yes.
And came back. Was there a culture shock coming back, or
No.
you were making the trips back and forth all the time?
No,
so.
I moved. I graduated in high school in 2001 and moved here in 2004, and so it wasn't that big a culture shock.
Yeah.
Graduated the Angelina Police Academy in Lufkin, and Cleveland PD was the first to hire me, and I've been here ever since.
Yeah. Did you fall in love with the Cleveland community?
Yeah, I did. I was very unsuspecting. It was actually between Cleveland PD and Missouri City, and Cleveland hired me first, and I've liked it ever since, and it's a great home.
Do you think it's the people that set it apart?
Yeah, it has to be the people. It's the small town community environment.
Yeah. I love Cleveland. I love all the cities of Liberty County, but people don't understand that there's some really good people here.
Yes.
There's really good people in Dayton. There's really good people in Liberty. It's just we're blessed, and people still know each other's names. So a lot of times, it's getting to where it's busy. Your territory. How many square miles do you cover?
I don't know the square mileage, but we cover the entire city of Cleveland at the Constable's office, a little bit north, and then the entire Colony Ridge community, and everywhere in between. So there's some Southern Crossing, kind of 331, 325, all that. It's hard to estimate the population. It's growing it's much, huge. But it's around 100,000 people, give or take. But it's a huge population in this area.
Yeah, a lot. Colony Ridge has the bulk of it, I would assume.
Yes, they do.
Yeah. So public service is a common thread in your family. I mean, are there other people besides you and your father, or did it go back before?
Really, yeah. My dad, of course, was a Vietnam veteran and a Polk County Reserve deputy, but my brother also served in the Army at the same time I did. In fact, right around 2010, when I was in Kuwait and Iraq, he was in Afghanistan. He was in the Army, I was in the Coast Guard, and we were both deployed at the same time.
Well, that must have been very hard for your parents, having both kids gone.
It was okay. It was okay. Didn't really matter.
Yeah. Deployed at the same time. I would be a paranoid mother.
Yes.
What's your brother's name?
Cannon Harkness.
Where does he live?
He lives in Houston.
He lives in Houston.
He's married to a veterinarian, Eileen. Yeah.
You don't get too far away from certain professions. And what does he do for a living?
He's an electrician.
Electrician, so he's not doing law enforcement.
No.
Okay, all right. So have you ever questioned whether you wanted to be in public safety, or was it just something that you always felt drawn to?
It is always felt drawn to. Always tried to improve upon public service. So whether that be going to a fire academy, police academy, Coast Guard training, and there's so many specialties within each of them. So in the fire service, I got arson investigation, fire plans examiner, hazardous materials technician, law enforcement side, I have crime scene technician, school-based law enforcement, firearms instructor. I keep going. There's just so many specialties you can get within each of them, and in the Coast Guard too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of qualifications. You have to keep, and you also have to keep up certifications every year.
Yes, yeah, and even the Coast Guard, we had to keep our qualifications up. So once I retired, that's one less stress I have to worry about doing. And those qualifications, you would have to sometimes do an oral board and verbatim some of this stuff, which is good because it's all law enforcement, and it made me a better law enforcement officer out here in Liberty County.
So, why did you decide to step away from the Coast Guard after all these years?
It was on a recent deployment to the border for 4 months, and then my enlistment was coming to an end, and they tried to deploy me for an additional year, so then almost a year and a half away. So I just chose to retire and stay here. It's hard to be gone, running a constable's office, raising twins out of service. So
and they're young.
They're 7, so I figured 21 years was it, and here I am. But I do miss it. It's a great brotherhood. Great job. Of all the jobs I do have, Coast Guard was my favorite. Primary mission, we were going offshore on tankers out of Galveston, doing law enforcement boardings. But you can do that. You can do that anywhere. You can do it in California. You can do it in Virginia. And then the deployment on the border, we were doing security offshore on an armed small boat, preventing smuggling of any kind, human drugs. And we were also on the Rio Grande doing patrols on that as well.
Did you have any close encounters with?
No, criminals normally stay away from an armed machine gun boat patrolling.
I would.
Yeah, they don't. They usually wait till we leave. If they're probably going to do anything, but we didn't have too much action. Some people got close to the line, but they stayed away. Sometimes during our briefings, they would let us know that maybe a cartel drone would come, and they tell us what it looked like or what they're driving that day or different little trends that they're doing. But once we were out there in the field, we didn't see too much of that at all.
The Coast Guard doesn't always get the same attention as the other military branches.
Yeah, they're very small. Small.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Do you think that that's unfair? Do you think that that's...
And that's just the way it is.
Just the way it is.
I've always loved the Coast Guard mission. on respect devotion to duty. The training was some of the best law enforcement training in the country. The units are usually smaller. You get to know your crew very well. I served out of Galveston, Texas City, Ellington for most of my career, but also deployed with units out of San Francisco, deployed with units out of St. Croix, deployed with units out of Mississippi. So I got to know Coast Guards from all over the country.
I remember when you were deployed to the Middle East because I had written some articles about your time over there.
Yeah, that was with a port security unit out of San Francisco.
What are your most memorable times from that experience? I guess that was during the
2010.
Yeah, 29. Okay.
And it was a voluntary deployment. I volunteered for all my deployments. And that was a year-long deployment. We did pre-deployment training all across the country for 3 months, and then we deployed for 9 to Kuwait and Iraq. And Iraq was actually on a mile-long oil platform near Iran. It's called ABOT, A-B-O-T. You can look it up online. It's still there, but it's one of their most lucrative oil terminals for Iraq, money coming in with oil. There's one next to it called Kayat, but ABOT's the big one. And we did platform security with machine guns. We did executive protection, and that was just on the platform. And there was also 2 destroyers, one U.S., one British destroyer, and a couple small Coast Guard vessels protecting that one asset.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It was pretty hot when you were over there. I remember you talking about that.
It was hot.
Is it different kind of heat than we have here, or is it?
It's just you get a lot of dust over there.
Yeah.
So dust storms would come somewhat frequently, even offshore. Even offshore, you couldn't see but 20 yards ahead of you. But it was warm, and our last day over there was around August, and I want to say it was around 135 for last day. Yeah,
that's unbearable.
It was hot. Yeah.
I don't think I could live in that kind of a.
No.
Well, we live in a hot environment. We have a lot of humidity. They don't have the humidity, but still.
Yeah.
I think I'd rather put up with the humidity.
Yeah. Dust. They can keep that dust.
Yeah, it's not something I want. What is the funniest thing that ever happened during your Coast Guard career?
Ooh, I don't know. Oh, Coast Guard funny. Oh man. I have to get back on that one.
Yeah, he may not be able to share those stories.
I'm trying to. There's some stuff that's happened.
But you just can't mention it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Do you think that your military experience made you a better leader?
It does. Coast Guard stresses leadership. There are special courses they go to, but really their whole outtake on law enforcement is leadership. And I've worked for some really, really good Coast Guard leaders. Some of the best leaders I've ever seen in my life, ever worked with in my life. I've also worked with some really bad ones. And I've learned just as much from the bad leaders of what not to do than I've learned from the good ones of what to do. And that's kind of made me who I am today.
Do you ever have people come and ask you about which branch that they should go into, or do you?
A few, not as much as you would think. I've tried, Coast Guard. I know how it is, and I know, of course, the inner workings of it. So I try to talk to them. There's so many unique opportunities in the Coast Guard. People just don't know, whether it be on the aviation side, the medical side, the admin side, and of course the law enforcement side. And there's so many specialized units within that are not publicly advertised just because they're so small. Mm-hmm. I would love to talk to youth about going in the Coast Guard. I didn't stay in 21 years because it was a bad service for myself. I stayed in 21 because it was really good. It was good for me, it was good for my family, and good for my country, of course. But the training and the experience I had with them is amazing.
So that you chose that branch over all the others, and that's because you like the smaller core groups?
At the time, I was looking to do some type of law enforcement around the port. And so I did look into every branch of service, and the Coast Guard at the time had a rating called Port Security Specialist. And so that fit everything I was looking for, and that's why I chose the Coast Guard.
Okay. That
rating, Port Security Specialist, eventually went away, doesn't exist anymore, and then it turned into Maritime Law Enforcement Specialist. And so that's what I was until the end.
And plus, it's a decent retirement, now that you're...
It's okay.
It's
so
an okay
Coast Guard
retirement.
retirement doesn't come with insurance. and it's based off points, and you don't actually collect your check till you're 60. So there's some downsides to it.
Do you qualify for VA?
I am. I do, because I was deployed overseas in a combat zone. And so I do have VA healthcare, which I do take advantage of a little bit.
Yeah, I hear it's hard to get into some of those places.
There's a Conroe clinic and an Humble clinic. They're a little easier, especially if you're a patient established. But I talked to one of the doctors there. They have 11 there, and each of them have 1,300 patients, and they're maxed out.
Oh gosh.
Yes.
That's too much.
1,300 per doctor. So
that's a lot to keep up.
They're maxed out, and they don't take new patients. And if they do, they shoot you 6 months ahead. But once you're in, then you're
but you got the county insurance too, so that's.
Eventually, I'll get that. Yeah, I'm not there yet. I'm still freshly retired. I'm on track.
Oh, okay. So okay, you're in between right now. Don't get hurt.
I'm good.
Got the Cobra going on. So let's go into the firefighter service. Yeah. How long have you been a firefighter, and what agencies have you worked for?
Right around since 2012, 2013, I graduated the Cleveland Fire Academy. It was their last academy they had. And I also graduated from the Houston Fire Academy. I did 4 years with Houston. I left them so I can go to the National Forensics Academy, which I paid for myself, which was a 10-week academy out of Tennessee. And then I just got on with Cleveland part-time, and then I was working for Liberty County Sheriff's as well.
What was your goal at that time?
I wanted to be a good investigator. That was a class that I wanted to go to for at least 10 years. And I paid out of pocket. I actually it was $10,000. I paid money I made going overseas. And then I just wanted to be a good investigator. I figured that training was some of the best in the country.
Was it like arson investigation and things like that?
It had arson to it, but it had blood splatter, fingerprints. You know, we were digging up dead bodies.
I remember that.
It was called the Body Farm.
I remember us talking about that ages ago.
Yeah, and so
because you had to see the different levels of decomposition
from new, freshly laid on the ground to just skin and they were just bones, really.
And these were people that donated their bodies to science.
They're all donated bodies to science, and so our class learned about taking them out of the ground and learning about that. That was probably it was okay.
Memorable class, huh?
Memorable,
yeah.
Memorable.
Oof.
Yeah.
An odorous class, I would think.
It had a few odors to it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, I guess you had to watch insect.
There were a lot of insects, a lot of different beetles that come at different stages, and maggots and flies that come at different stages, so there's a lot to it.
Yeah. Yeah, but you didn't pursue that one any further than...
I got that knowledge, and it's a law enforcement knowledge, and any law enforcement new training is good because it's all relevant no matter where you're at. It's all relevant.
Yeah.
So
your two agencies have been Houston and Cleveland.
Houston and Cleveland, yes.
And now you're just for Cleveland.
Just Cleveland Fire, part-time firefighter. EMT.
Oh, are you just part-time?
Part-time, and just a couple days a month at the most.
Okay, I thought it was full-time.
No,
I said earlier.
It's okay. Yeah. Up to 4 days a month, no more. That's just city rules.
Yeah.
But Cleveland's very unique because you can be a structural firefighter, you can be a woodland, wildland one day, you can be in a hazmat situation, you do arson investigation, we do inspections. We all do that at the firefighter level, which is very unique. And so we all do it, and it's a great department.
So for you, it sounds like it's about building a knowledge base.
Yes, you want to be good at it.
Yeah. So you just keep learning.
I do have a few more educational goals. When it comes to animal cruelty, I'll hopefully have those done within the next year. I got a training board, kind of just some stuff that I have on the horizon.
We have a lot of animal cruelty going on.
There's a lot of. In fact, I got off the phone with Houston SPCA today. We're scheduling a community meeting regarding animal population that should be coming up in the next month or two. We're going to schedule a day where the community can come out, ask questions, and we'll have a few stakeholders there. To help
What's the meeting going to be about?
It's going to be sharing ideas and solutions, how to best solve and help out our homeless dog population within the precinct. Of course, the county.
We need spay and neuter programs.
That's an idea, but right now we're so overwhelmed with a homeless dog population,
and we have nowhere to take them.
Nowhere to take them. In fact, that's one of the things the investigators said with Houston SPCAs. They're all maxed out. Not just them, but the one in Houston, the one in Montgomery County, all the small shelters are all maxed out. But I feel if we get a bunch of stakeholders and some community members in one building, maybe we'll find a solution.
You think education is the key?
Education always helps, but
I don't know that that's...
It helps, but
Yeah.
it's also a Band-Aid fix. We definitely need the education on spay and neuter, but we also need the programs on it. We're already overwhelmed with homeless dogs and dogs being dropped off, and so we need a solution for that, but we need a long-term solution. And so we're going to do this community meeting. Maybe something will come out of it, maybe it won't, but at least we're trying to get the ball rolling.
And that a date will be announced in the future?
Yeah, we're like I said, we just talked today. There's so few resources that the constable's office has.
Did people call you for that?
They do, and it's such a... There's literally nowhere to take a dog if we come across one.
What do you do then? How do you handle it?
We just handle it on scene.
Handle
it's
it on
gonna be
scene.
Deputy discretion on what
If
happens.
it's a dangerous dog?
Yeah, they're dangerous dogs. Yeah, they are another beast in training all in its own. That's another specialty. But
Are we having very many bites out there in Colony Ridge? Because I know Colony Ridge has a lot of dogs running around.
you know, listen to every call that goes out. I've recently made a dog bite call in the city, and it was a young kid, let's say 9 years old, who got bit by a neighbor's dog just walking home from the school bus, and it was a bad bite.
Where did it bite the child?
On the legs. And I was working for the fire department that day, so I was able to kind of bandage her up and help her get to the hospital. But you know, I see firsthand what a loose dog can do to a child, and
Even a dog on a leash.
and at least
Alexia,
yeah.
my daughter, was attacked by a pit bull at the city park at Liberty when she was
Yeah.
a year old. She was getting off the swing set and walking to me, and someone came in with a big pit bull, and it just lunged for her face, and I couldn't even get to her fast enough.
Yeah.
Luckily, it didn't leave lasting damage to her, but it was only through the grace of God and aloe and good medical treatment.
Yeah. Well, I'm very aware of the dangers of a loose dog. I want to come up with a solution. I'm passionate to come up with one. I'm hoping that with some of these community meetings, we can bring some knowledgeable people to the table to help share some ideas.
Yeah, I hope so. We really do need it. I had a couple of dogs that were dropped off at my house, I guess recently, and I tried to, one of them immediately got run over before we could get it to come. And then we took the other one in, but he kept getting out of the fence, and then one day he disappeared, and it's like, you know, and I had already fallen in love with the dog, so now it's like, golly. Yeah, you try to do something, and you know, we brought him in the house every day. You know, he slept in the house. He just decided he wanted to roam free.
Some do that. Some do.
Yeah. We were taking him to get neutered and everything. So it's like, oh God. Have you had a rescue as a firefighter that has stayed with you? Not an animal rescue, just a rescue in general.
You know, there's thousands of calls I've been on with the fire service.
Yeah.
And, you know, I almost remember some of my first ones being really excited and kind of nervous because we're going to an unknown call, car crash, people hurt. But now it's such second nature that a call is a call. There's some calls that I've been in that community members that I know very well have been very injured, or their family's been very injured, and so those come to memory every so often. As an actual rescue, you know, some of the high adrenaline stuff comes on maybe doing some of these water rescues.
Have you done a bunch of those? I was going to ask you that
done
next.
A handful. You know, it doesn't flood every year, but it's flooded enough to where, and those are so dangerous. Not only the velocity of the water is moving so fast.
Yeah, we have a few places in this area,
Yeah,
like Low Water Bridge Road.
Low Water Bridge down in Plum Grove.
Yeah.
I remember very vividly that last time I was on a boat. I was on a boat with Allison Lopez and Tarkington Task Force 1, which is a cooking team out of Tarkington. 3S cookers took their own personal airboat out, and we were pulling people from their houses. And they were up to their chest in water.
Was that Hurricane Harvey or Imelda?
No, it wasn't either one. It was just some
It was
floods.
just a flood.
Just some floods. I think it was 2 years ago now, I guess. But you know, not only getting to them was extremely difficult, but now how do you get them on your boat? You know, they're chest deep water. They want to bring their dogs, and so
and the airboats are limited in how many they can carry.
Very limited, and kind of off balance a little bit. You know,
yeah.
And, we're trying to get them on a fence into the boat.
And you're dealing with obstructions in the water.
Plenty of obstructions. You can kind of see some, but you can't see them all. You know, you can't, and especially when it's raining out too. So those are the higher adrenaline ones. I mean, I remember making a few fires around town where I'm crawling on my knees, and I remember kind of a funny incident. I thought I was on my knees and I was kind of moving something I thought was a door. Ended up just being a TV, and I felt so dumb after. I thought I was moving a door, but it was a TV. But you know, now that you got me thinking, I'm trying to go through the Rolodex, but there's thousands of calls. I mean, even yesterday, I was working at the fire station. We had 5 or 6 calls, and I remember I have to think about what I did. You know, I got to think about.
Because it's just become like
so many of them.
Yeah. But, during Hurricane Harvey, my uncle, he lived down on 563. He's dead now, but he drowned in Hurricane Harvey, and they had to resuscitate him.
Oh wow!
And then boat him out with his wife, and he ended up dying just a couple years later.
Wow!
He had injuries from all of it that just lingered. Mm-hmm. So that water is no joke.
Nothing. Yeah, especially in the dark. You know, a lot of times. If a Cleveland boat can't handle it, we'll call Montgomery County Precinct 4, Rowdy Hayden's office.
They have a swiftwater team.
They have a swiftwater team, and they have several boats. So if it's too shallow or something, they could pivot and move it, use a different boat. But I remember watching them in some very sketchy situations to where they narrowly got
avoided
past
disaster.
Something. Yeah, because it's and that's. Man, props to them, man. I called them.
I couldn't do it.
You could.
No, I could not. No, I could not. And, I'm scared of water.
Yeah, it's
I respect it.
It's scary. It's there's a lot to it. But we call.
Yeah, I don't drive in high water. I don't do any of that stuff.
Yeah, I hope nobody does that, but yeah.
No, but some people do. They think that they can. It's like, no, I'm not doing that.
We've done a lot of cars.
I'm not waiting out.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. I'm not having my car go off the road. That's terrifying.
Yeah. It is terrifying.
Yeah, it's terrifying, especially when you have children and things.
Oh, no. Don't put the children at risk. Yeah.
No. It's a terrible situation. But, okay, so let's go into some of the other aspects of life. I guess we've talked about the Coast Guard. I guess we can talk about being constable for a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, what surprised you most about being a constable?
I never had a vision of being a constable. Never something I never wanted. I just knew I wanted better for my community. And I knew I could do a better job. And I think I proved that. You know, we've been here for 5 years. And
you're on your second term.
We're on second term. And I have an amazing team. It's a small team. We do more with less. We always have. We get in our group, call it a roll call meeting. We talk about what our mission is. And then how do we do our mission, specifics. And then these guys do a great job. They each have a unique personality, and each of them adds a very unique aspect to this office, and they complete the mission in their own way. But just being a constable, I want to be the constable that, just a law enforcement officer in general, that people go to when they need help, even if it's something we can't handle at the time. We are there to listen. We're there to walk them through problems. We're to find resources that they may need, because we can't do everything, but we may know somebody who can help them out in that situation, and that's kind of how we lead this office. That's kind of the fun stuff. The more mundane stuff is delivering all these civil papers.
But there are a lot for this
we
precinct.
get around 100 a month, give or take, some more, some less, which is a very busy.
And then you got to go find the people.
You got to go find them, and sometimes we have to make several attempts, and it just gets, when you have 20 papers outstanding.
People are trying to dodge the papers.
80 attempts a week, and some try and dodge, some are home, which is helpful, but it's time consuming.
I guess it would be anywhere from divorce, a civil case.
We do, anything people are being sued on.
Even tax cases.
From any court, we do tax papers. And we do divorce papers, we do evictions, and evictions is another beast, because it takes multiple attempts, and it takes going back out there and actually doing the eviction.
Yeah, you have 30 days or
then
something.
Depends.
Yeah.
You could have 3 days, depending on, but
yeah.
And then it's time consuming if they're still there with all their property. We have a formula for that. We treat them all the same, so there's no confusion on our deputies, and we treat every eviction the same. And we make it as efficient as possible. It's kind of the boring stuff we do. It's extremely important to the court, extremely important to the plaintiffs, and we also do JP court.
You're the bailiffs, right?
Bailiff for our local JP court, and really, the county court calls us if their bailiff is sick or can't make it. So we do some bailiffing in Liberty. We send a deputy over there whenever they need one, and recently it's been kind of busy for them. So we send people, and even courthouse security if they need an extra person, if they're having a big case, we'll send people over there.
Yeah, we've had a few of those lately.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's. What's something that your deputies do every day that you think deserves more recognition?
Oh wow! Everything they do, they're just amazing humans. And when you're an amazing human, you just do really good things in your community. Most of it goes unseen. I try to put a little stuff on Facebook just to keep the public open and knowing, but that's really about 1% of what we do. The Facebook posts make about 1%. Of what we actually do, but they make such a difference in their own unique way. I don't know if I could pick one thing. Our canine deputy, he patrols the Cleveland schools, and he patrols the Isle, Texas schools, and he won an award from Isle, Texas this year just for being an amazing person.
So he's like a school resource officer.
He's not. No, he's
not.
He's just a normal deputy for he's a sergeant, but
who is that?
It's Randall Walter.
Oh yeah.
He's an amazing canine deputy. He helps the sheriff's office out, Cleveland PD, ISD, Isle, Texas, runs papers, helps with the scheduling. He writes policies. I mean, they're just so good behind the scenes that it's hard to pick one. They're just good.
How important is community policing in today's world?
If you talk about community policing to 10 people, they're going to have 10 different opinions on what
is your opinion of it.
It is, and it's a loaded question, and we try to take care of the community. But how, everybody wants that. How do you take care of the community specifically? And we show up consistently is one thing. So if there's a person in need, if it's a speeding issue, if it's a community event, which there's
a lot of them,
a year, which we can't make, if it's a ribbon cutting, if it's a church needing help, like currently I'm helping write 2 security plans for 2 churches in our area, but it's being very involved at a down-to-earth level, taking care of your residents where they know who you are. But it's also being extremely trained and professional and somebody who you want to show up in time of need. Like right now, me and you are in this office. There's a police officer protecting our kids right now. That's who I want. I want a precinct 6 deputy because I know they're trained, they're professional, they're courteous, and they're going to take care of the public. And that's kind of how I train them. That's kind of in a nutshell how we do community policing.
When someone sees one of your patrol units, what do you hope comes to mind for them?
I hope they recognize us from seeing us a lot. We chose marked units and not ghost lettering because there's so few of us and so few law enforcement. I want people to see a marked unit. And a ghost unit, if you don't know, it's a marked unit, but you can't really see it. It's kind of the same color as the car, so it's a black sticker on a black car. They have their own benefits, and people use them. They're great, but I want people to see a law enforcement car in their community because we hear it all the time. I never see police in my area, or sometimes when I do, I see constables all the time. It can go both ways, and so I want to know that we're approachable, we're visible, and we're just really there to serve.
You think that deters crime too, right?
It deters crime to a certain point. So there's patrol with just endless driving, right? That doesn't really deter too much, other than just a quick little presence. But if you do a traffic stop, maybe that may deter crime for 20, 30 minutes just because you've been there, there's activity, and you're not just seeing you just drive away. So it does deter some, but not a lot.
If you had unlimited resources, how would you spend it?
We would have a 24/7 agency, but we would have we would I would say specialize in rescues. We would have our own boats. We'd have our own side-by-sides. A lot of times there's injuries and events that take place just outside where a car or truck can go. A side-by-side would be really helpful. So we would have dedicated unit for that. We'd have motor units for traffic and accidents. We would have some drones, and drones would be used for missing people, fugitives, fires, floods, such things like that, warrants, and also a lot of departments, or not, civil departments, are using drones to clear an inside of a residence before an eviction. Because if a constable usually gets killed, it's usually on an eviction, and so we'd be able to clear a house using drones. But really, we would it'd be all community service oriented into emergency response.
Neither you nor Jennifer have traditional jobs that are just 9 to 5 and you're done.
No.
So how are you intentional about making sure that you have time for your family and things get done? And
we play a lot of tag you're it, and so whether that means she has the kids to bring to their practice or games, or I do, or I bring them to school, we have to get either her mom or our friends to pick them up. We make it happen. We have some good local resources to make sure that the kids are well attended to. We are very active in their games. I've coached baseball, soccer, which is very difficult for young children to coach them.
They don't listen very well.
They don't listen. It's fun and extremely funny at the same time.
What's your favorite family tradition?
Oh, wow. We as a small family, we eat together on Sundays. That's a good family tradition. We have some good Christmas traditions, Easter traditions. Just being together as a small unit, going places, whether it's Big Rivers Water Park or local dinner diner.
Y'all spend a lot of time gardening too.
Yeah, they do. They do. We
picking vegetables
and fruits
and berries.
We have not used our freeze dryer yet, but we have so many vegetables and fruits from the garden that I want to start freeze drying.
Yeah, that'd be nice. So, what do you do? What do you enjoy doing with Hudson and Ella that has nothing to do with your work besides?
I do. I enjoy everything with them.
Everything.
I enjoy putting them to bed. I enjoy getting them up ready for school.
Twins are a challenge, though.
Yeah, they let me know it too. They let me know. It's frustrating to put them to bed and wake them up, but getting them dressed for their baseball, softball games, watching them, coaching them, watching them come up with their own unique personalities is extremely rewarding. And really, that's what life's all about: is making sure that they remember me when they're older as being a great dad.
Is it safe to say that Hudson's more like you and Ella's more like Jennifer?
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Anybody that knows.
Yes.
Would you explain to people how you and Jennifer met?
Yeah.
That was kind of a funny story.
Yeah, I was working as a Cleveland police officer at the time. I just got back from overseas, and I went to arrest a person with a warrant on a local county road, and I did my normal grip, and he was so sweaty, and he pulled away and ran, and that rarely happened back then. But I chased him through her yard and through her neighbor's yard, and I did pepper spraying the guy and dropped my sunglasses. But that was actually Jennifer's house that I ran through, and I had no clue really who she. I heard her name or here, but it kind of started the interactions with her and I.
Yeah. She had returned recently,
yes.
I guess.
Yeah, she was returned from San Antonio,
and she had previously been a school teacher too.
Fourth
grade teacher.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. What do you think, in your opinion, makes Liberty County special?
Wow. There's so many great things in Liberty County. We mentioned some of the bigger cities, Liberty, Dayton, and Cleveland, but Cleveland really has my heart. It is the people about it. Where they come together, they support you in times of need, or even not need, always checking on you. They're so friendly, and they are so positive in their outlook on the community and the future of this area.
How do you see yourself in 10 years?
Oh, man.
Still doing this job? Something else?
And I will definitely be in public safety somewhere. I want to raise my twins, and so I'll have a job to where I'll be able to make sure I go to their games and make sure I'm there for them. I don't know if I'll be in the constable position. Maybe I will. I do currently plan on staying, but you know how life gets sometimes. You never know. But I'm prepared to stay in this area doing public safety.
If you could give one piece of advice to your younger self, what would you say?
Join the Coast Guard earlier. I joined when I was 22, 23-ish.
That's still young.
Yeah, but I wish I joined at 18. Yeah.
Well, that was 4 years that you needed to explore the world, I
True.
guess.
But that's what I would tell myself.
Join at 18.
Mm-hmm.
Start earlier.
Start early, yes.
Well, we finish these interviews with fun, rapid-fire questions, and you just have to do like a simple answer. It can be long or short. Okay, you ready?
Sure.
Mexican food or seafood?
C.
Boots or tennis shoes?
Boots.
Beach or the woods?
Beach.
Lake or the Texas Gulf Coast?
Gulf Coast.
Sunrises or sunsets?
Set.
Okay. What song always gets turned on in your truck for road trips?
Anything Garth Brooks.
You like Garth Brooks and
Yes.
you're willing to admit it?
I drive a Crown Vic that still has a tape player, and I have Garth Brooks tapes I listen to.
See, I like Garth Brooks too, but a lot of people like look down on that because he's kind of gone a little bit.
His political views have altered
Shifted.
some opinions.
Yes,
Yeah, but
yes.
yeah, I mean, his 90s music is the best.
Yeah. Favorite TV show to binge?
Oh, man. But going back in the 1900s.
People don't watch TV very much.
I watch a lot of cartoons, because of my twins.
Yeah.
yeah. I really don't watch TV, so it'd be probably the news.
You don't have time for much, do you?
No.
Yeah. Favorite guilty pleasure snack? His desk has nothing but body armor. There's one there. There's one there.
I like any sweet candy.
He offered me body armor when I got here, and I was like, yeah. And it was a set of police officer body armor sitting there, and he's like, no, not that one.
Drink.
Yeah. If you could have any superpower, what would it be?
Oh, man. I guess predict the future.
If you weren't in law enforcement, what career would you be?
Firefighter.
A firefighter. What if you weren't a firefighter?
Coast Guard.
See, it's the same three. Okay, well, you've had three different ones. What would people be surprised to learn about you?
I ran track and field sprints in college.
Oh, were you good at it?
I was in college.
You're pretty tall.
Decent. Yeah, but I couldn't do it anymore. But I still can beat Ella on a sprint, so I'm still good.
What's one thing your kids can beat you at? Can they outrun you?
Not yet. No, not yet. They can't. I don't think they beat me at anything. I don't know.
Not yet. They're still young.
They're still young. Yeah, they can't.
What is something Jennifer's better at?
Cooking.
Yeah, she does
Cooking.
a tomato
She does
pie.
everything.
She does everything.
Everything.
She gets that from Susan, huh?
Probably.
Yeah. Who's the more stubborn?
Me or Jennifer?
Mm-hmm.
Jennifer.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I could see that. Last question. If Hollywood made a movie of your life, who would play you?
Oh, man. Maybe Kevin Costner.
I like Kevin. He's too old to play you. You'd have to have somebody younger.
No.
You're only in your 40s.
Yeah, 43. I don't know. I'm leaving it at Kevin.
You'd have to have a younger Kevin.
Okay.
A younger Kevin.
Yeah.
What about Rip, the guy that plays Rip?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
Don't like. Yeah. You don't watch Yellowstone? I thought everybody watched Yellowstone.
Maybe I have. I know what you're talking about now, I think.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. Well, I just want to tell you thank you for letting me come and interview you. I've enjoyed getting a chance to make you slow down long enough to be interviewed. That's the biggest challenge is finding him because he's always out doing stuff.
I had to cancel 2 appointments. That's okay.
You had to cancel 2 appointments just to make time for me?
Well, just 2 little meetings, but that's okay.
Oh, gosh.
I put them off.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad that you were able to make time for me today. And I hope that all of our listeners have enjoyed this. And it was a good opportunity to get to know you a little bit better for them. I've known you so long that I've known you pretty well. But for the listeners, they don't have that opportunity. So hopefully they enjoyed it. Until next time, everyone.